Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are just joining me, I am Bunny and I travel in my 2020 NV200 and I've been on the road for about 6 years. Now I started out tent camping across the country, and at that time I was going to a lot of really cool sites and seeing a lot of really awesome things. I liked it so much that I upgraded to the van, and that brings me to where I am now. Today we're gonna talk trash. Yeah, we're trash talking today and I can't wait to do it. Being on the road as long as I have, I've seen a lot of things, so it's time for us to talk about some of them. Now, I've met a lot of people, I've seen a lot of things, I've observed some stuff that isn't the best, and I've observed some stuff that is pretty amazing. But one of the things that I've noticed along the way is that there is a lot of trash talk out there. In fact, a lot of this, but not a lot of execution. So today we're gonna change that. And this might not be what you think it is. But before we talk some trash, let me show you exactly where I am. This place is pretty awesome. This is actually a trailhead right off the main road, and I wanted to come here to do this video for a very specific reason that I'll tell you about in just a minute. Now, I'm not one for drama, and I'm not one to usually talk trash. However, today it has to be done. Finally, we've gotten to a tipping point where we have to talk about some trash that's going on in the world around us. And it's not fun. I'm an upbeat person, and I like to be upbeat and share all of my adventures with you guys and encourage you to get out and see things and live life more fully. But there's some stuff going on that's just been really disheartening lately. Now, this video is going to upset some people, and that's okay. I'm fine with that, because the fact of the matter is it needs to be talked about. So without further ado, let me tell you about some of the people that I've been seeing out here in the world around us, and some of the things that they've been doing that are not okay. That's right, today we're talking about trash. Trashy people. Trashy people meaning those people who have left behind trash. I know, it took a turn. You were thinking I was gonna talk smack about a bunch of van dwellers, but stick with me to the end, because I think you'll understand that some of the people who you see out and about who are van dwellers, and some of the people who you see who are living the bus life, and some of the people who you see who are camping in tents actually are trashy people. And I mean that in the nicest of way, but also in a way that shame on them. You see, the reason why I came here is because there's literal trash. And it was left here by people who enjoy the great outdoors. Now, a lot of times we go to places and we see them and we love them and we mark them on the map, and then we return to them and then we find out that they're closed. And the reason they're closed is because people have left their garbage behind. But this month, I made a vow to myself and also to Mountain House, which I have been an ambassador for a while, that I was gonna do something to be proactive in my own life. And I wanted to show you guys that you can too. And the reason why is because I'm tired of going to places and them being closed. Realistically, in the past 6 years, I have gone to over a dozen sites that no longer exist as a result of trashy people. You know, trash like this, left behind by people who have used this trailhead to pull in, to hang out, to go hiking, to do whatever. And we can sit there and say, oh, the locals did it, or we can say the people who are traveling did it. Pointing fingers doesn't really do any good. The fact of the matter is, it's a problem. So today, as a part of a Leave No Trace initiative, Leave No Trash, that they're doing this month during Earth Month, I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of the things I've seen and also how we can clean up the world around us. And then we're gonna pick up a little bit of trash just because, you know, we're here, let's do it. Now let's start this conversation. I think that it's important for us to know that not everyone is doing the most to make problems for the rest of us. Everyone isn't out there just chunking their trash out into the ether, hoping that somebody will come in behind them and pick it up. There are advocates and there are people out there who are making a difference. But as a vast majority you have probably seen, if you've been at a trailhead, a national park, BLM land, national forest land, or even a parking lot, you have seen there is garbage scattered about, and that's a big no-no. One of the things that I was taught whenever I was young is that if you had some trash, you need to put it in the correct spot because, you know, it can harm the animals. And that always made me so sad to think that the animals could be harmed, so I instantly just did the right thing. And I've tried to continue to advocate for that going forward. However, I've come to realize that common sense is not so common. And so as a result, I go to places like the one that we're at today, and I find all sorts of like random stuff out there. So I decided that because of this initiative that Mountain House is doing with Leave No Trace this month, I was going to rack my brain to come up with a really cool way that we can all make a difference without it being something that is just super difficult. And I came up with a concept called Trash Tuesday. Trash Tuesday is where we encourage each other for 20 minutes to pick up trash and then post it on our social media and tag hashtag Trash Tuesday. That way the word can get out and we can be a difference maker. In other words, the people who see it might be encouraged to say, oh, I could do that for 20 minutes. That's not a big deal. I know sometimes the thought of having to go out and actively do things every single day can be overwhelming, especially when we consider ourselves to be just a single individual. However, by making an initiative where we can do it on a certain day and then we all see everybody who's been doing cool stuff like together out there, I think that really is a little bit more attainable to most people. So I created an initiative website that you can actually go onto and see some of the stories about the environment and cleaning up and what's bad and what's not bad, where there's recycling centers, different things. So it's going to be updated really regularly, and you can see right here, this is what it looks like. I'm also going to be posting pictures that you guys send me of the trash that you've collected because I think it's really important. And we started our initiative actually this past Tuesday, and in doing so, oh my goodness, so much trash was already picked up. In fact, let me show you some of the pictures. This right here, this was picked up in Phoenix by Aussie Van Man. Of course, he's a friend of the channel, so of course he was diving into it. But we also have right here, this is Bart. Bart is actually a YouTuber also. You might have seen his channel. And I challenged him to do it, and then he went ahead and tagged 10 of his friends, which is the goal of the initiative. If you do post your pictures of your trash on social media, tag 10 of your friends and challenge them to do the same. That way we can truly see the ripple of the people as they continue growing, and it'll be a fun way to do it. But I'm not finished yet, guys. We have a couple more. I have this submission right here from Deb all the way up in Wisconsin. She picked up just what was already in her yard that had blown in with the wind. And see, it just kind of goes to show that you don't have to come all the way to a trailhead or even go to a campsite in order to make a difference. You can do it right in your own community, and I think that that's what's great. Now, speaking of doing it in your community, I really wanted to get this out there so that people could do more. And in doing so, I challenged my mom's 5th grade class. And in doing so, they picked up trash for 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes, look at these pictures, guys. This much trash came out of their school vicinity just from blowing up or people discarding it or it dumping out of the dumpsters. And it ended up being 10 pounds of trash, which is huge. But not only is it huge, these are 5th graders. So teaching them the basics of Leave No Trace so early on is so important. And so if they can do it, you guys can do it, and I can do it. It's so simple to just, if you see it, pick it up. Now, I know that there's going to be some hesitations because people don't want to pick things up with their bare hands. So today we're going to discuss some safety also. But before we do, let me tell you a story about a campsite. Now, this story is kind of a sad one. There's a place in Colorado that I absolutely love to go to. It is so beautiful. It's on the top of a mountain. You can see everything. And within the first 3 years of my travel, when I was still tent camping, I went up there and found it and was like, wow, I have lucked out. Look at this place. It is gorgeous. I went back there last year. It's now closed. And there are signs posted everywhere, keep out, because of the litter that was left behind. Literally, they have posted on the sign, the site has been closed due to poor management. And that comes from us as the campers. Now, I know a lot of people, especially people who don't really do this full time, they get out there and they don't think about the fact that they leave cans and things like that in a campfire ring. Nobody is there to pick up after you. You have to do it on your own. Unless you're at a private campsite, there's not going to be anybody come around and sweep it up after you leave. So it's super important for us in our public spaces, especially, to be the vigilant ones and to take care of business. So with that said, I don't want to see any more of these campsites or public lands closed. I know you guys don't either. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the store and we're going to buy a box of these. These are just vinyl exam gloves, and you can use them as a single use or a multi-use, but this is going to protect your hands from anything that you might find on the ground, so you're not getting all gross. Now, I understand sometimes you're going to see trash and not have these, and if you feel comfortable picking it up without gloves, that's on you. I just wanted to make sure that you do know that there is a safe way to pick up things, because I did hear a horror story in the comments about someone who picked up some glass and it ended up cutting their hand and they went septic. So let's not do that. But what we are going to do is we're going to put these gloves on, and then we're going to do the magic thing. We're gonna pick up the trash. Realistically, guys, it's that easy. All you need is a bag and some gloves and 20 minutes of your time on Tuesdays. Trash Tuesday is something that I'm going to make not only happen now, but continue doing. And even if I don't post every single week my trash that I pick up, just know that I'm gonna be doing it because it's really important. Now, that doesn't mean I won't pick up trash on other days. If I go to a campsite and I see it's dirty, I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna leave it better than I found it, because that's what you should be doing. But on this one day of the week, I want us all to band together. And then as we do, I want to post all of the pictures that you all submit on this Instagram page. Now, this Instagram page is literally dedicated to trash. It's just gonna be trash. Now, why am I posting pictures of trash? Well, first and foremost, I feel like we should lead by example, and sometimes just the visual of a picture is leading by example. But also, I want to have a collection of all the trash that's been picked up, because I've heard a lot of stories about how nomads don't care about things. And I've also heard a lot of people say that, the townies don't care about anything. So we're going to put it all front and center to show that, there's people on both sides of the fence that do care, and this is how much of an impact that we've had. Instead of people being able to say, oh, these people just leave things trashy, we're going to show them that there is a group of us that do care and that we want to make a better tomorrow. And so that's why I wanted to put together such a visual social media presence, because I think it's important for us to show those kinds of things off. And I use the word brag about our accomplishments, but it's not like in a bad way bragging. It's like in a good, encouraging way bragging. So that's what we're going to do. Now, ultimately, I hope that this isn't just an initiative that we do here in the United States. I hope it takes off and everybody wants to do Trash Tuesday, because the entire world can benefit from us taking a stance against something bad. And I think that that's really important. And I'm super excited that Leave No Trace and Mountain House really challenged us this month to kind of think outside of the box in ways that we could contribute to the greater good. So if I can figure out how to open this box, we're about to get started. I just bought this box because I realized I had run out of gloves in my van, and this should get me through quite a bit. This is 30 gloves, which means 15 different pickup sessions, which is quite a bit. And realistically, I probably only need one glove because I'm gonna pick most of the things up with one hand. So, we've made it in. So now it's time for us to start making a difference. Let me just grab a glove. Ooh, these are the good thick ones, guys. I picked these up at a CVS in the medical supply section. They also have cleaning gloves and things like that you can use. And then the only other thing that we need is just a bag of any kind. Now, most states have plastic bags that they use at their grocery stores, and I know if you do van life, you probably use these as trash bags. So we're gonna do the same thing today. And now that we have the glove on my dominant hand, because this is my good pickup hand, it's time for us to go pick up some trash. I'm gonna set my clock for 20 minutes and we're gonna see what we can find. Okay, this is a bunch of stuff in 20 minutes. Wow. But just to kind of give you guys a better idea as to what all I picked up, there's aluminum cans, there's little glass bottles, there's pieces of a vehicle which looks like they got smashed. There are even these. Wow. Now, all of that from one trailhead in 20 minutes. And if I would have stayed out here a little bit longer and walked the trail, I'm sure I would have found some more too. There's a lot of weird stuff in there. Let me tell you a little bit more about it. Whew. Okay, so 20 minutes. We took off our glove. We're sanitizing our hands really good. And let's talk about it a little bit more. Inside that bag, I found a coat hanger that the top of it had broken off, so somebody just threw it out, no big deal. I found a child's Nerf toy, just like the dart itself that somebody probably just realistically couldn't find because they were in a hurry to get out of here. I found those little BBs or pellets, whatever they are. I found 2 of those little glass bottles. I found probably 40 cigarette butts where it looks like somebody was just chain smoking out their window while sitting here. I found a bunch of pieces of tiny glass, a bunch of pieces of tiny plastic, some of which were from that vehicle, some of which were just here, there were a bunch of wrappers. And the wrappers that I found, a lot of them had to do with granola bars. So that leads me to believe that they were here because of people who were on the trail. Now, I also found a few bottle caps. There were a couple of water ones, a couple of soda ones. So, all together, I probably picked up 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of trash in 20 minutes, which isn't a lot considering the average person puts out about 4.9 pounds of trash per week. But if I were to do that, and a friend of mine were to do that, and another friend of mine were to do that, guess what? Now we have made a difference. But I think you can see that if we each do that, that's 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of trash that aren't in the environment around us. And that's why I really want to encourage you guys to get out there and do this. Now, I am going to leave the link in the description box for the Trash Tuesday Initiative website. I also am going to link you to both Mountain House and Leave No Trace because they are doing this initiative. And I think it's really important that we share these different kinds of things. For example, did you know that Mountain House actually works with a company all throughout the year called TerraCycles, where you can actually recycle your Mountain House bags? They're all the time looking for ways that they can take initiative. And so I like to align myself with companies that do this because it's something that protects the world around us so that we can continue to recreate in these beautiful spaces. Now, for those of you who feel hopeless, for those of you who feel like the places around you are just closing in because you are seeing more and more of those closures, instead of being sad, let's take this initiative and do what we can. I know that today we're talking trash and we're just talking trash about the people who leave the trash out here mostly, but you and I also have the ability to combat that and make a positive out of a negative. So guys, instead of us pointing the finger saying it's you or it's a local or it's a traveler, let's just all work together. It's not that hard. Today I took 20 minutes out of my day. I did something in a beautiful space, and it made me happy to know that not only can I see this beautiful space and it's accessible to me, but also that I've made it where other people can see it in the future. And I've just taken in the mountain air. It's been nice. It's been a good way to work out and get out some of the calories. And I probably burned a couple hundred calories just in doing this. So you can look at it in a variety of different ways, but the one way that we definitely want to all see eye to eye on is that we want to make this place a better place. Remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and taking 20 minutes out of your Tuesday can definitely make it that. Till next time, guys. Bye. Now let's go find a proper place to dispose of this. Yeah, we're going into town to work anyway. It's fine.